Hey everyone, welcome to Flip the Deck Tarot. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and help me grow this channel so we can be one big happy tarot family. So today I have a really fun pick a card reading. We're going to be getting a little bit nosy, so if you like to get all up in people's business, then you're going to want to stick around for your reading. I have 4 piles picked out for you, and we're going to be looking at how your person really feels. So we're going to be diving into all of the little things that they're not telling you. Okay, pile 1 is the hummingbird. Pile 2, the bee. Pile 3, the spider. And pile 4, the octopus. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Pick which pile or piles you're most drawn to. There's a lot of beautiful symbolism in these cards, so like I said, take your time and pick the pile that calls to you the most. I'm going to do my best to have timestamps in the description box. I am new to this, so I'm not sure if I can do it, but if I can manage, I will do that to make it easier for you to find your reading. All right, go ahead and pick your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hey Group 1, if you picked the hummingbird, then this is your reading. Before we dive in, I want to explain to you how we are going to structure this reading so you kind of know what to expect. We're going to be looking at how your person really feels, and what that means to me is we get to get a little bit nosy, which I think we all love. So we're going to be looking at the aspects of the person that you had in mind when you clicked on this video, aspects of their personality that they lead with, the ones that they will show you. So this might be the way you know the person, maybe the way other people tend to know this person. And then we're going to look beneath the surface at some of their personality traits or some of their feelings or just the way they move through the world that aren't so obvious to others, not so obvious to you. And that might give us a little bit of a clue as to how they are approaching this relationship and how they may approach this relationship. So you're going to get to kind of know that shadow self of your person, that part that they might not be so willing to share, but will help you get a lot of insight into why they're moving through the world the way that they are. I always think that's fun because if we have a little bit more understanding, we can be more compassionate a lot of the time and maybe put our minds at ease a little bit too. So once we do that, we'll probably jump into some tarot to get a little more nosy, like I like to do, but also just get some clues about your connection or just more details about your person that you might not be aware of. And then we'll look into your love story, look into the more romantic side of things, because this is a love reading. Even if this isn't a romantic relationship that you have in mind, it's some kind of relationship that is close to you, and that it'll all kind of fall into the category of a love reading. So most likely it is someone that you're romantically interested in, but if it's not, if it's a friend or a family member or someone that you work with, that's fine too. So just take what resonates and what applies and leave the rest, okay? We'll probably get some advice at the end too. That's always fun. So let's dive in. You picked the hummingbird. So this is actually the part of your person that they show the world. So this is obviously air energy. Your person may be an air sign, but they don't have to be. They could be somebody who's great at communicating, or if not great, they do it a lot. They're probably good at it if they do it a lot, but maybe they are in a field where they have to communicate a lot. Maybe they just talk a lot. Whether they're careful about what they say or not, maybe they just tend to talk a lot and maybe kind of fast, because the hummingbird moves really fast. Their wings flutter at incredible speeds, and what are they in search of all the time? They're in search of nectar. So I always think that's really important when looking at the hummingbird, especially if we're talking about a romantic relationship, because the hummingbird is always after that nectar, that sweetness, and chances are, if you're experiencing some kind of connection with this person, that's how they see you. Like, they're seeing you as that sweet nectar that kind of drives them. Like, hummingbirds will visit thousands of flowers every day just to find that little drop of nectar. So if you are having a connection, if this person is someone who has caught your eye or you have caught theirs, chances are they really are seeing your connection, your friendship, or whatever kind of relationship you've established. Chances are they're seeing that as something pretty sweet, or they wouldn't be pursuing it in any way. And if they haven't yet, when you do see, if you see movement from them, you're going to know how they're seeing you. They see you as something really sweet. I think that's really cute. That's really cute. The card behind here is actually the hidden parts of their personality. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later. I want to just look at kind of how you may view this person, because this is probably somebody that you see as very energetic. They might move around a lot. It might be difficult for them to sit still. They seem like they have endless energy. That's kind of the spirit of the hummingbird. Just, I don't want to say frantic, but in some cases, the person could appear a bit frantic. Really enthusiastic person, very positive. There's just so much energy. If you look at this card, there's so much energy coming off of the bird in the center. All of this bright white light is just all that energy that they're radiating. So this is somebody that you're not going to feel down and unhappy around this person. This is definitely like a burst of happy energy type of person. That's definitely what you feel, and probably what everybody feels around them. They're very, very smart. This is like a highly intelligent person. Hummingbirds are known for their intelligence. So likely this person is super smart. One aspect is hummingbirds actually fly solo. So they spend a lot of their lives alone. So that might be a part of this person's personality that, I mean, if you're pursuing a romantic relationship with them, that might not be something that you love about them, because they probably are quite independent, and that might have made you feel pushed away. But that's not, I don't think that's any reflection on you or how they feel about you. I think that is just kind of their nature, or at least the part of them that they present outwardly. So maybe they just want to appear self-sufficient. Maybe that's important in their family or in their line of work, to appear really self-sufficient. That could be the case, but that could potentially at times make you feel a little bit pushed away. So that's just something to keep in mind. That could just be part of their nature and nothing really for you to take too personally. Let's go ahead and flip this card and look into the aspects of their personality that they keep a little bit more hidden from you. Okay, the starfish. All right. So immediately when we see the starfish, we're seeing this 5-pointed creature. I think some starfishes have more than 5 arms, but for the most part they have 5 arms. So 5 is going to be a really important number to you and to kind of understanding this person. 5 represents a lot of change. So this could be somebody who's gone through a lot of big changes in their life, maybe more recently, or maybe their life has just been full of change, maybe a lot of ups and downs, which if we kind of connect that to the part of their personality that they're going to be more likely to lead with, that could explain why somebody likes to remain solo. A lot of times when people have to go through a lot of big changes, especially numerous times in their lives, they can tend to become really reliant on themselves and just want to do everything by themselves, because they know they can depend on themselves. They know that they can be kind of steady just for themselves. Like, like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say sometimes, depending on other people, will throw you into kind of a spiral of change that makes you feel really uncomfortable, and that can cause you to pull away and just kind of want to handle everything on your own and be a little bit more self-sufficient. So that could kind of play into it. And the starfish also has like a really kind of prickly and rough outer surface. So yeah, I feel like that ties into what we were saying before. And this is not even a part of themselves that they lead with. So this would be an inner part of themselves that they keep really protected. And they probably keep that inner part of themselves protected with a thick, spiny kind of shell and armor. So I'm really getting a lot of heart-focused energy when connecting to this person, because I'm imagining the heart being protected by this kind of spiny shell that the starfish has. And I think that's really because this is their inner self and it's guarded this way. I think that's super important. This isn't like an outer armor that they wear, like clothes outside their body. This is like a thick, protective wall around their heart. And I do think that heart energy is going to play a huge role in understanding this person, because the hummingbird's heart is super crucial. It beats so fast, like so much faster than we could ever imagine. So definitely heart energy coming from here, and then this protective kind of heart energy coming from here. Again, I think I forgot to mention, but we're dealing with water energy with the starfish, air energy with the hummingbird. So that could be an indication of their signs, or it could just be an indication of some kind of trait about them, how they act. So like I said, with this could have to do with a lot of communication, or maybe intellect, this air energy, and this water energy deals with emotions. So again, we're playing into this heart kind of space, this emotional space, and it being sort of guarded and protected with this spiny kind of shell-like wall around the heart. Okay. Again, with starfish, we see a self-sufficiency, the same thing we saw with hummingbird. So this person, that's strong for it to be both in their outer aspects and their inner, this idea of being self-sufficient. I wouldn't be surprised if this person is like a business owner, they work for themselves, or they do a job where they work independently. They might just do well, like if they're in school, they probably like just studying alone and hate when they have to do a group project. Just absolutely despise having to put up with anybody else when they're trying to get a task done, which is a little bit at odds with their like happy, energetic personality. But it's probably like when they go to get something done, when there's something they actually want to accomplish, they probably don't want to be around a lot of people. So this is more like a life of the party type of situation, and not like a super collaborative type of situation. So this person is definitely going to be high energy, super fun to be around if you're in a social setting, and a lot more guarded when it comes to personal matters, which could be frustrating because you see them out opening up and having fun, and then when you try to connect with them, you might feel like you hit a bit of a wall. I think that's this tender heart that's inside of this shell. I think it's a good sign, even if a person is guarded, when there is a tender heart, like when there's a good sign that there's a tender heart in there. It might be a little hard to get past that shell, but that tender heart is kind of priceless. So if that's an area you can get to, the payoff is phenomenal. Once you get past the layer of protection that they set up. Okay. What else should we say about this before we dive in? I do want to point out like a major difference in energy, the amount of energy and the speed of energy between these two. The hummingbird moves very fast, wings fluttering a million miles a minute, super fast. And the starfish moves very, very slow. So this is again like this kind of opposite ends of the spectrum with how they act on the surface versus how they feel inside and how they're likely to act in an emotional type relationship or connection. On the surface, they're moving fast, they're energetic, they're sociable, and inside, really slow and protective of their heart. Super protective and not going to want to jump into things until they're sure. Okay, that's really important to understand. So I'm also getting that this person is probably highly attractive. Hummingbirds are absolutely beautiful, a lot of times with like vibrant colors around the throat, sometimes all the way down the abdomen. In this picture, it shows this vibrant color around the throat. I think there's like some ruby-throated hummingbirds or something. They're super vibrant, like jewel tones, beautiful, gorgeous birds. And starfish obviously have always caught our eye because of this amazing shape. Like if you're on a beach and you see a starfish, you're definitely drawn to it. It's so cool, you know, the shape, like it's cool. I think we all know that. So this is somebody who definitely catches the eye of probably a lot of admirers. Super pretty or handsome person, depending on how you want to look at it. This is just an overall attractive person. Okay. All right. Let's hop into some tarot and see what else we can figure out. I'm just really getting like a lot of, like on the topic of attraction, I'm just getting a sense that there's a lot. There's so much attraction between the two of you. And I can tell you're highly attracted to this person, which is always good. So we have the Five of Cups. Now, let's pull a couple more cards. I'm already starting to pick up on something here that I think gives us a clue. Something we discussed earlier. Okay, Seven of Cups. Let's talk about these cards. Because already, okay, so Two Cups cards came out, and we already had some water energy. There's a lot of emotion here. So you are dealing with a highly emotional person, but not only that, there's a lot of emotion in your connection. And I know like a little while ago, we discussed a person that maybe had to leave a lot behind, had a lot of changes when we were looking at the number 5 being significant with the starfish. Maybe a lot of changes that could have been abrupt happened in this person's life, and that's this Five of Cups energy is really speaking to that, of leaving something behind and maybe having to do this numerous times. This number 5 seems to be kind of repetitive in this, and I think that was an emotional thing. It was kind of hard for this person, and I think what we're getting here is just a couple of clues as to why maybe we got this wall around the heart, like what caused it. And I think it was changes, abrupt changes that had an emotional impact. This could have been leaving a family member behind, or a family member leaving them. So I don't know if this is something that they left behind or they felt left behind. But that's really an emotional, it's kind of an emotional situation that I think could have caused a little bit of a wall around the heart. So that's something to keep in mind. And then with the Seven of Cups, I guess for some reason with this, although like we're looking at someone having a lot of choices here. He has a lot of different options. Maybe kind of unsure of which to pick. In this case, I am getting more of an uncertain vibe. Like not sure which one of these cups he wants to choose. So maybe a little bit of confusion here. New emotions, bit of confusion. Okay, let's dive a little deeper and see. Yeah, because I'm getting the feeling that the choices that they feel like they need to make aren't easy. Like sometimes the Seven of Cups can give you the kind of vibe of like this is so amazing, I have so many options, but I'm getting almost like a heavier feeling from it. Like the amount of choices that are present are not exactly, it's not exactly welcome. Four of Cups. Oh my gosh. More Cups energy, and definitely somebody not feeling very content with what they have. So that might be something with these choices, like they felt like they made the wrong choice at some point and were unhappy. And this was a situation they walked away from. So we are most likely looking at a romantic connection. That's probably why you clicked on this. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this person probably had two cards falling out here, both major arcana. So some disappointing past relationship is really playing a major role in this person's ability to open up right now. So this isn't to say that they're not going to open up. This is just to help you get a little bit more understanding about why they may act the way that they do. So if you've had a little bit of a hard time connecting with this person, or you feel like they pull away, like you come close together, you share this beautiful thing, you think everything is good, everything's going exactly the way you want, and then they pull back again, this is because of some kind of emotional hurt. So as I'm saying this, I'm realizing this is what fell out here, the Hermit. So when we talk about pulling away, you see this is a person sitting just solitary, thinking. They're thinking, they're planning, they're reflecting. They want to know what their next move is. They don't want to move forward until they know. There's a lot of wisdom in this, so I do think that this person is exercising some wisdom in being cautious, and they're being thoughtful about it. So that's that starfish energy, that slow energy. They're being really thoughtful about it. It might feel too slow for you. It might feel a little bit frustrating because they're being too thoughtful and too what is the word that I'm looking for here? They're just contemplating this a little bit too much for your liking, almost like methodical. That's what I'm looking for. They're being very methodical about it, and you probably just want to be like, just go for it, especially because you know the strength of the connection that you feel. You just want to go for it, and they're like dragging their feet, it seems. But I think it's not so much dragging their feet as it is being very thoughtful. So when they do, this is a person, when they make a choice, it's not going to be spur of the moment. It's not going to be something impulsive that they did not put a lot of thought into. This is going to be something that, like, they deliberated over. They spent time figuring this out, and in a way that's positive. Like, it's a little annoying when you're frustrated and you're waiting on somebody, but that way when they make their choice, you know they really thought about this and they're serious. Like they already weighed all the pros and the cons. And I think they did that, like, really knowing loss. This is it. This right here. This is them weighing the pros and the cons, really looking at all of these choices. And I'm not, like, it doesn't have to be choices between people, but it can be like, should I be in this relationship or should I not? Should I put myself out there again, or should I just stay protected? Should I take that job and move across the country, or should I stay here because I know that, like, there's something here and it's special and important. It's not easy for them. It's not easy for them, and they've been disappointed in the past. So the next card that came out with the Hermit was the Star. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful this card is. Like, the artwork is outrageous. And not only that, but that's kind of like the most special card that you could get at the end of this spread. Because we're really looking at new opportunities and just like the sky's the limit, like shoot for the stars type of mentality. So after all of this deliberation, after all of the consideration of the hurt, the loss, and what they had to walk away from, ultimately, this is the attitude. The attitude is the Star. Ultimately, it's like, this is something really beautiful, really, really special, and like, I'm going for it. So I think you've done your fair share of waiting with this person, waiting on them to show you something, you know, to stop just being the life of the party, but actually show you some of that energy and that enthusiasm. And they move real slow, like the starfish. And now we have a little bit more understanding about why they do that, because there's a little bit of hurt. A little bit of disappointment and uncertainty going on here. But to have this Star card come out, which is like the ultimate in hope and renewal and like a new beginning, a new chance. That's the energy. That's the energy that they are going to be leading with once they get this sorted out. Like, give them their time. Give them a little bit of time to put some of this hurt and loss behind them, because this is now going to be like a bright spot. Like, your connection with them is going to be a bright spot for them, something that kind of erases, undoes, and eases the hurt that they felt before, because you really are, you're like that nectar to them, that sweet nectar that they're looking for. But I feel like they don't want to admit that they are. They don't want to say that they want that, because really they would rather just be self-sufficient, just keep their heart protected. But I don't know, I get like the sweetest energy from this person. I think they have the best of intentions. I don't think that they would purposely push someone away that they knew was special to them. They're just scared, ultimately, just a little bit nervous. I want to jump into like some romance. Like, I'm nosy, okay? I can't deny it. I'm nosy, and I want to know a little bit more about the romance between the two of you and how it might unfold. Keeping in mind that it might unfold a little bit slower than you want it to. That doesn't mean anything really, because I don't know how long you've been in this situation. You could have been waiting on this person for a while already, and maybe they're about to make their decision, but there is definitely a sense of you waiting. Chemistry. Yeah, it's undeniable between the two of you, and they know it. They're just slow. It's not that they don't see it. So, like, if you've been wondering, like, am I the only one that thinks that there's something here? You're not. they totally see that. That's what's making it so hard for them. That's why they're finding themselves in the Seven of Cups energy, because they may have decided that they're not going down this road again after the disappointment that they felt. And then there's chemistry. So it's not something that they're going to be able to deny or walk away from. It's going to be something that ultimately they have to explore. Like, especially with that star energy, that card popped out. Open up. Exactly. They're going to open up. And when they open up, you see this door, there was like trees and shrubbery growing over it. It might have been completely covered. It might have been a hard shell of a covering, like this starfish. But once they do, you're totally in like starfish. Did anybody catch that? You're totally in this star energy. I think that's just even more confirmation. This wall here is going to come down. You're totally like, you're in star territory. You're in openness and new opportunities and just beauty and renewal. You're in that territory once those walls come down, once they open up. Wow, you guys. Okay, let's get you a little bit of advice and then wrap up your reading. This is like, it's so sweet. I like this kind of stuff because sometimes romance isn't easy. Sometimes people do have, okay, is it ever easy? But I guess sometimes you meet somebody and you feel like everything just unfolds quickly and perfectly, and it's, oh, I just saw a card. Didn't pop out. This isn't that, and I think a lot of the time it's not that. Like, there is a little bit of patience required here and some understanding to see why this person is reluctant to explore something that could be like great. And I think you're not really seeing that. Like, why would you hesitate on this? It's great. But it's just because they're hurt. We have this card, New You, coming out, and I think that goes perfectly with the star. This is going to be a new version of them. Really, like I keep saying, renewal is just the word that comes to mind. Just them renewing and just giving something a shot that they haven't wanted to explore. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Sweet like candy. This card came out in the last video that I did in one of the readings. So this is always just like something that's just so perfect and just so juicy and delicious. And I feel like coupled with the hummingbird who's in search of that sweet nectar, like, could we get any more clarity on that? Definitely. They see you as that nectar. They see you as something so sweet like candy. And that's why they're not going to be able to ignore this. They're going to find themselves opening up and in that star energy really soon. And then patience came out. So that's a little bit of advice for you. I think we've already touched on that. Just be patient with them, because it'll take a little bit to break down that wall around their heart. But I think once you're in there, it's going to be something really deep, like a really special connection that was totally worth the wait, despite all the frustration that you felt in the waiting, in that term of waiting on them. So they move a little slow, but there's definite chemistry here. They are going to be opening up and finding a new version of themselves that can really, I think they're just everything that you've been hoping for, and you know that, and that's why you've even been as patient as you've been. But hang in there. This is really beautiful. I think this is going to be like a really special romance for you. And it's good to know that what they're hiding from you is really just that they're a sweetheart. Like, that's ultimately what this is. They're really tender-hearted, and their heart probably got a little bit bruised, but they're going to heal and get through that. So this was a really good reading. If you enjoyed it, if it resonated on any level, please leave me a comment down below and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I'm really excited to be putting out these readings for you, and I will see you next time. I love you all. Bye. Hi, Group 2. If you picked the B, then this is your reading. Before we jump in, I want to explain how the reading will kind of unfold. So we're looking at what your person isn't telling you and how they really feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at aspects of their personality that they kind of wear on their sleeve, just the things that they lead with. And then we're also going to look at those aspects of their personality that are a bit more hidden. So things that you might not know about them, ways that they feel that you might not have realized, and kind of like the like what's beneath the surface that is really causing them to operate in certain ways that maybe you did not know and didn't understand. And once we do that, I'm going to hop into a little bit of tarot, and we're going to get a little more nosy and kind of like dig into that a little bit more, figure out maybe something about their past, or like, we don't know. We're going to just kind of see what we can see, but it's definitely going to give us more insight. And then we'll approach this more from a romantic connection, even if this isn't a romance that you are wondering about. It could be any kind of connection that you have with another person. So we're going to dive into that. You can kind of take what resonates and what doesn't. If this isn't about a love interest, but if it is, then we'll just go ahead and see how your romance will unfold. And then I like to wrap up by giving you a little bit of advice. So we'll pull from a special advice deck and just kind of see how you should move forward. So let's get into this. You chose the B. You were drawn to the B because the person on your mind is this B energy. So this B energy exhibits a lot of air attributes. Obviously, with their beautiful wings, they fly all around and pollinate, so we are definitely dealing with air energy, and that could mean that they're an air sign, or that they are a great communicator, or love to talk, really intellectual type of person. Okay, initially, like, obviously with this card, it's so gorgeous. All of this bright yellow is yellow is a super energetic color, so this might be an energetic person. You know how bees are, the saying busy bee, so this is definitely somebody who's busy, someone who has a lot on their plate. They probably take on quite a bit. They could be in school and working, maybe a couple of jobs, like definitely a busy person, busy with family commitments. They could have a child or something that makes them even busier. Maybe the kid's involved in a lot of extracurriculars. Really, this busyness could come from any area, any aspect, but this is definitely somebody who's always on the move, always taking care of business. Okay? So that's what you see about them, and that's probably what a lot of others see about them as well. And it's not just busyness for the sake of being busy. Like, this is a really hard-working type of energy. So this is someone who really gives it their all. I feel like it's somebody who's really sure of their purpose. So their work may be very purpose-driven. It might be something that they feel very passionate about, that they studied for a long time to be able to do, or something that's really close to them, like close to their heart, because of their childhood. It could be something about the way that they grew up, or just like a cause. It's like a cause very close to their heart, because this person is very sure of their purpose, and I feel like they don't do anything that's like outside of their lane. They do what they feel they were meant to do, like what they feel they were put on this earth to do. If that's not what they're currently doing, that's what they're working toward doing. Yeah, with the B, it's like almost this I want to say like unrelenting. They're unrelenting when it comes to bringing their vision to fruition. So that could mean so many different things for so many different people. That could have to do with their work, it could have to do with their home, or just their expectations for their family. But whatever it is that they see as important to manifest, to bring out into the world, they're not going to give up until they do it. Very determined person. Also, with the bee, this is like an abundant, prosperous energy. So whatever they're doing for work or what they're studying to become, it's going to be something that will be very fruitful. Probably not just for them, but for their family, for anyone who they consider family, friends, people close to them. Something that's very fruitful. And it's definitely like, I'm getting like a collaborative energy from this person. On the surface, they are definitely somebody who works with a lot of people and likes to. Like, they play their role, other people play theirs, and they're fine with it. They're cool with it. They love working with people, so they're probably pretty social. This is like somebody who is like, they never stop. They never stop. So we're really just kind of getting a sense of who this person is or how they present on the surface. So somebody like pretty high energy, but it's not really about their energy so much. It's more about like their determination and just what they think is important and what's worth their time. So extremely determined. I'm like curious to dive into this because they're very sure of something, or you see them this way. You see them as somebody very sure of their purpose and very determined to bring it to fruition. Let's go ahead and get into the, like, I'm just really curious because I'm getting kind of like it's like I'm saying this and I feel hesitant at the same time. So I don't know if that's because you don't believe them as that, or you don't see them that way, or they don't see themselves that way, but there's something here. So here we go. Let's see. This is the part of them that would be more hidden, the part of them that maybe only they know. Okay, we have the bear. I'm loving how the yellows are playing together here. So I'm still getting that kind of energetic sense, that warmth, like sun energy. Sun, a lot of sun energy. Like this could be a Leo. But with the bear, the funny part about this is the bear is the opposite of the bee. Like, I don't know that I've really thought about it like that, but seeing it in this context, this is a very opposite energy because the bear hibernates. So the bear stops sometimes. All during the winter, the bear's going to stop. And this bee is never going to stop moving. Okay? The bear could be seen as someone, like, I don't want to use the word lazy in a negative context, but they're going to rest. They're going to recover and hibernate. And the bee never, ever does that. So there's definitely like an opposing force here, and that's probably the energy I was picking up on. This might not be something that you know about the person because you see them as this busy bee, this determined teamwork, like let's go type of person. And on the inside, I don't want to say they feel tired necessarily, but I do think that there's this kind of urge for them to maybe rest and slow down a little bit. And that's not the part of them that they present, like in their work life. That's not a side of them that they show. They literally never stop. But inside they want to. So we've got air energy, earth energy with the bear. probably just some desire to ground a little bit. Yeah, and they're just really kind of busy. So the bear is going to represent more of like strength. I get a real family sense from the bear, but then also from the bee. So this is like a family oriented person. They may come from a really large family, and even if they don't, family is important to them. So that's always good to hear. Like if you are interested in starting a family with this person, this is somebody who values family. And I think that teamwork kind of aspect would come in with a family. Kind of like, you know, like a team, a family unit, a team. I think they would see family like that and probably want to have a lot of little babies running around, which would keep them busier. So yeah, that would kind of play into more of this busy bee aspect. But then there's also this need to retreat. That might just be how they recharge. They might be somebody who's on the surface very extroverted, and they need some time alone to recharge a little bit. Definitely a strong-willed person, and definitely a protector. Like from the bear, I get fierce protector, but when you think about what bees will do to protect the hive, there's just like overwhelming protective energy coming through with both of these cards. So that might be something that you've picked up on from them. They may have demonstrated a bit of protective energy. That's it's probably, gosh, I hate when they go nasty on me, but it's like that's probably kind of hot. Let's just put it like that. That's probably kind of hot to see that this person is really protective over you. I guess it's just really what's still jumping out to me is just this, these opposing forces, because whereas the bear is a little bit more independent, the bee is all about the team. So there is definitely just an opposing force. That's just something inside of them where they kind of want to go and retreat. So I guess that's something to keep in mind about them. They might want to have a little bit of time and space to themselves every now and then, because they definitely have this need to hibernate. Let's jump into some tarot and see what insights we can get about this person and kind of these opposing forces. I mean, we're already, like, they're kind of a complicated person because in a lot of ways I'm thinking, like, what could be more opposite than this? This air energy that's all about kind of buzzing around, being busy, and being about the team, and then this solid earth energy that just wants to crawl into a cave and, like, take a nap. So they're definitely, like, not a one-dimensional person. You probably already know about them, know that about them. That could be something that drew you to them. They're a little bit complex. Oh, wow. Okay. Your cards are shooting out. We have the Two of Swords. I don't think these were actually reversed. The Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Okay. A lot of earth energy just came out. Strong earth energy with the Ace and the King. And I feel like this bear, the King of Pentacles coming out under the bear, is just so appropriate, because I feel like the bear would be the King of Pentacles. Really grounded, strong earth energy presence. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely someone really dependable and very grounded. If you need that grounding in your experience, if you feel sometimes like you're a bit untethered, this is really somebody who comes in and and grounds you, gives you that bit of stability. Okay, I think this Two of Swords may be a little bit of a clue into these opposing energies here, because this is really somebody who feels like they're being pulled in two different directions and they really don't know which way to go. And I mean, these are two very different directions here. So they might not be sure which one to give into, and probably need to implement a little bit of balance. But if you've been a little confused by them, or just not sure about what they're doing, I don't know if this bear aspect is something that they let come out. Like if you know this about them, and I can just imagine you telling them, like, you need to just slow down. You need to take a break. You're taking on too much. You need to take a break. And then maybe being resistant to doing that. If that's a conversation that you've had with them, if that's the type of relationship that you have, then I think you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But even if you haven't discussed that with them, that's definitely on their mind. Like that is the internal tug of war going on with them all the time, which is definitely something to keep in mind, that they're already having an internal tug of war before you factor yourself into this equation at all. If that helps you to understand like why they are doing whatever they're doing, or why they're retreating every now and then. I think they're burnt out. Some people do it for different reasons, you know, like pull away for different reasons. I think if this person pulled away, it would be just because they're burnt out. This is somebody that is highly successful, I would say. Like these Two Pentacles cards came out together. A lot of earth energy, but not only that, like a lot of material wealth type of energy here. Very successful person, or on their way to becoming very successful. They may have started something new that's bringing them a lot of this success. But they're really showing up here as this King of Pentacles, that coupled with this bear. And look, this wolf here. This is like, they're all looking in the same direction. Definitely a driven person. I think we talked about that, like determined to bring whatever it is that they have on their mind to fruition. And this is giving me very strong, determined energy. All of this super strong and really intense energy is all moving in the same direction. Yeah. Okay. So I think this person may just work a lot, and that's potentially something that might have stood between you and them. Like, there's definitely a new opportunity that came into their lives, or something they're working toward that's going to bring them a lot of financial success. And I think that's something, like, it's really important to them. They're going to be relentless when it comes to pursuing that. But they're pulled in these different directions, and that could be where you come in. Like, they're not able to devote the time that you would want because they're so busy, like working, studying, trying to get that promotion, something like that. They're so busy with this and so consumed and so determined. Yeah. I want to pull, see if we can get one more card. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's like, I'm getting the feeling that you view it as a bad thing because they're working too much. Like, their focus just isn't on the connection, the romance of it all. Their focus is on material things. But I think that they just are thinking more about the future They're planning for the future. So this is for sure somebody that you would be stable with. Finances aren't going to be a problem ever. I don't think. I think they're going to be just absolutely relentless. Oh, card just flipped. Okay, 2 cards came out. Let's move these over. We have the 10 of Wands and the Wheel. So, like with the last reading, it kind of did the same thing. Like a bit of a clue at the end as to how this is going to play out. And luckily, in this case, like it was in pile 1, this is I think it was a beautiful way for it to turn out. So, with this 10 of Wands energy, I'm feeling this, like this person is burnt out. So, of course, with everything, there's positive aspects and there's negative aspects. It is great that this person is such a hard worker, that they're not going to give up, that they're determined. Like we were looking at the way that this bear and this wolf and this King of Pentacles, this strong earth energy, how it's all just like laser focused in on this goal. That's beautiful. That's a really great thing. But at the same time, this person overworks themselves and gets burnt out. And that's confirmed with this 10 of Wands. This is somebody carrying a lot of heavy burdens. So I don't know if this is something like they have a lot of like commitments. They feel a lot of responsibility towards something. Like they have to do this to provide for family members, children, for you, maybe even. But they are burdened by it. Like, I feel like it's their strength and it's their weakness at the same time. They're so good at this. They're so good at being the busy bee. They're so good at getting it done. But what maybe nobody knows is that they get burnt out and that they are burdened with this. Okay, that might not be something that they want to share with you, because I just get this like really strong masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a male, but I get a really strong masculine energy, and a lot of times with that comes a lot of pride. So maybe they don't want to admit that like this is too much and I really just want to hibernate for a little while. Maybe they don't want to admit that, but that could be a beautiful energy for you to introduce. A little bit of just something light and fun for them, and that might be why they're drawn to you. Maybe you are that bright spot, that light fun thing that doesn't have anything to do with work, although you could have met them at work, because that bee energy is like definitely teamwork. Like this could be somebody that you know from work, but just introducing a little bit of that brightness, that bright sun, that yellow vibrant energy, and kind of letting the burden fall away, I think could really help this relationship a lot. We had also the Wheel come out. So this is going to turn around and I feel like lighten up a little bit. This is going to, especially financially, like if this is a financial goal that they're working toward, and that's why they're so burnt out and so burdened by it, because they started a new business and they have to just like put in the hours right now. What's coming here is the Wheel energy, which is like, it's going to start to flow. It's going to start to be easier. Not easy, and I don't even get the feeling that this person would want it to be easy. They like to work, you know, they like to earn these pentacles, you know, really get in there, get their hands dirty. They're really down to earth person, but at the same time, working out those, like the process of something, if it, like they started a new business and they had to work out the process of like, how do I, you know, serve these customers or fulfill these orders, or you know, what systems will we use for this part or that part. That's like grueling and time consuming, and it is taking a toll on them. But sometime soon, the wheel's going to turn and it's actually going to become a lot easier. And I think that's when you're going to get more of that kind of fun, just a bit more of an uplifted energy coming from them. And it's good to know where they're coming from too, because you may not have realized just how burnt out they were with all of the work or the schooling. It could be that they're studying something and they're going to graduate, and it's not going to be like this forever. Like, it's not, maybe they need to pass some exams or something. It's not going to be like this forever. But this is a little bit of where they're coming from, their personality, what they're going to show you readily and what they're not going to. What this person's going to show you is that they can get the job done. Like, they can work hard. They can be busy, maybe sometimes too busy. They can be social. They can be all about the team. But there's a part of them that just wants to care for themselves too. I'm going to pull some romance cards to kind of see a bit about the connection between you. This was a lot about them, which is, you know, kind of why we're here. But I know that we always want to know, how is this going to unfold, or what we could be looking out for in terms of like the love of it all, because that's the fun part. That is the fun part. I'm really, like, as I'm looking at your cards, at this bee and at this bear, it's like the bear is just giving me such a calming energy, and the bee, you know, not so much. So yeah, they just want to chill. They just need to calm down a little bit. Okay, we had spy come out. I mean, like, this just says social media stalking to me. So if that might be like the only way right now that you feel that you can connect with them. Jeez-a-loo. And self-worth. Okay. Let's see if I can get another one. I'm getting a feeling that you might be checking up on them a little bit on social media. They're probably just so busy that you aren't feeling like you are connecting with them the way you'd want to, so you want to see what they're up to. But I am getting a little sense of like value yourself enough to not put so much energy into checking up on them. Okay, fun. We talked about that. We talked about that. Oh, I had some cards fall. So, yeah. I think that it's just going to be really important for you to have a lot of fun with this person when you are with them, and maybe not worry so much about the times that you are not, because they are really, really busy with something. So, like, trying to see what they're up to when you're not with them. Like, maybe let's just focus on you and on doing what you want to do, you having fun, and when you are together, just making that fun and taking their mind off of all of this work that they've got going on. I want to pull some advice cards. I feel like you already got a good deal of advice with those romance cards. But we'll get a little bit more and see what's up. Just swapped a bunch of cards. Too many, so we'll see what comes through. This came out in the last reading. New you. Okay. That card has been making so many appearances. Jeez. Okay, 2 cards came out. Create and step through the door. Okay. Okay. I mean, definitely. It's so funny because I think that those cards are more for them than for you. Like explaining to you what they're doing here. They're just really in this, like this time of creating something, of bringing something out. You see this, this Ace of Pentacles, it's something new. I guess we kind of touch on that with New You, the card that likes to pop out in every reading. Is everyone experiencing some sort of regeneration or something? They're planting something. They're planting roots. They're in the process of really bringing something to fruition. I don't even know if you know this, if you know what they're working on and how difficult it is, or how much of themselves they're putting into it. I'm not sure about that, but it's almost like that's the message that they are sending to you. That they're just like stepping through this door. They're just in this way, like just waiting for the wheel to turn is what they're doing. And I say waiting, but you know what? They're not waiting. They're this busy bee. They're making the wheel turn. Okay. So definitely this is somebody who is going to be financially stable and really successful, and they're going to put in the work. Like, this isn't somebody who has had anything handed to them. They're definitely on their grind to do this. But I do get this feeling that it's causing a little bit of separation between the two of you. In that case, I just think it's all about understanding that they're bringing something to fruition, kind of deciding what that means for you. Self-worth. What do you want to do? Do you want to wait while they do this, or do you want to go and do something else? But whatever it is, like, definitely the message of implementing fun, whether that's fun on your own or fun when you do have a chance to connect with this person. But I am feeling like a separation, a distance between the two of you. And it might not be because of the reasons you thought. If you thought you were separated because they don't have feelings or something, it's not that. It's that they are so focused on the material right now. They're so focused on that, and even to the point of exhausting themselves. They are really focused on the material. So bring in a little bit of fun energy, bring in something light, do it for yourself, do it for them when you connect with them. If any part of this reading resonated with you, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post another video, and I will see you later. Bye. Hi Group 3, if you picked the spider, this is your reading. Before I hop into the reading, I just want to explain a little bit how this will lay out. First, we're going to be looking into the aspects of your person's personality that they lead with. Those are the personality traits that you and others probably know them for. And this is the stuff that they wear on their sleeve. And then we're going to look a little bit deeper beneath the surface, get a bit nosy, as I like to say, and kind of figure out some of that stuff that they don't share with you quite as easily. So things that you may not even know about them, things that they try to keep hidden, and this might give us a clue as it to a little look into some of the hidden feelings they have for you. Then I'm going to dive into some tarot, and we're going to see what else we can uncover about them. Then we'll look in a little bit to the romance between the two of you, and we'll get some advice. So let's hop right in. Your person is showing up as the spider. So this is definitely what they present to the outside world, kind of how you know them, and how others may know them. These will be their key characteristics that everyone assumes is their personality. Like you think you know them based on these traits. So looking at this, first of all, this is a beautiful card. This intricate web that the spider has woven is really highlighted in this card by all of these rainbow-like colors. Excuse me. Which is really just like, it's intriguing. You know, I think there's something intriguing about spiders. Love them or hate them. Definitely earth energy. But I'm really getting like an artistic feeling from this person. Somebody who is really detailed about what they do. Also with the spectrum, like the whole color spectrum here, this is somebody who's really feeling, like I'm getting an image of the whole chakra system, and this is somebody definitely like in tune with all of those elements, all those parts of themselves. So that's always nice because that suggests a balance, or at least they appear to be balanced. You know them as a very balanced person. This might not be how they see themselves, but this is definitely how they come through to others. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a highly artistic person, someone who spends hours on their craft, who's very methodical about what they do, who will kind of like put in the work to weave the intricate details of something. That's something very characteristic to the spider. So something else that like I just have to touch on is I think the number 8 is going to be important in this reading. We're dealing with a spider, which we know has 8 legs. So the number 8 is really representative of abundance and material wealth. This is someone who has a great deal of success in business. If they are an artist, then they're a successful artist. Like I'm not getting the starving artist vibe from them as someone who has figured out how to monetize their art. So all artists are successful because they are producing their art and they are exploring that part of themselves and expressing themselves. So that is beautiful, but a lot of people in the arts do find it difficult to provide for themselves because a lot of other people don't value the work and the effort behind some of the intricate artistic endeavors that a lot of us participate in. So it's nice when someone is being recognized for what they're producing. This could be painting or quite literally some sort of woven art, weaving, or I don't know, crocheting, something like that. Macrame. Am I taking this too far? I don't know. But something, they're good with their hands. Basically, they make something. This could be like mechanical, even a mechanical art form. Something where they use their hands and they are very detailed about what they produce. So if they are in the arts, it's nice to know that they're being recognized and being compensated for that. So there's definitely success there, or there's success right around the corner. The number 8 also speaks to abundance in, basically abundance in everything. So that doesn't necessarily have to mean material wealth, but it can be abundance in inspiration or in guidance, in time. Basically, whatever they need to fulfill their life's purpose, which I get the feeling they're very concerned with. Like that's something important to them, fulfilling their purpose here on earth. Whatever it is that they need to do that, they'll have an abundance of that. Energy, inspiration, they're just an abundant person. So that's good. That's how you see them. I think you see them as like always having enough, or being an endless well of ideas. So like they're kind of clever and inventive. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. You really see them as somebody who can always come up with a solution to the problem. And it might not even be a problem, maybe just a solution to just what to do. Like just really, really creative in that way. Just like a well of knowledge and also of ideas. Okay, so this is how you are seeing the person. This is definitely someone who knows how to manifest, and also somebody who exhibits a lot of patience. So maybe they've been very patient with you, or you've seen them be patient with family members, friends, children. A lot of patience here. That's a nice quality to have. So let's look a little deeper beyond what they present on the surface to kind of what's running underneath all of that. Maybe some aspects of them that you aren't even aware of. Okay. Okay, so the elk. So more earth energy. This is definitely a grounded person with all this earth energy. They may be an earth sign, but if they aren't, they just exhibit a lot of grounded, stable energy. So they're probably really nice to be around, very calming. You feel secure in their presence. You feel like everything's going to be okay when they are around, and you feel like you'll be provided for, taken care of. And I think that plays a lot into with the spider, just that infinite amount, that endless well of fill in the blank. You know, it feels like when you're around them, there's an infinite amount and an endless well of, it could be security, it could be fun, it could be ideas, but there's definitely, they've got this abundant nature about them. Okay, when we look at the elk, I'd say we get some of that feeling too of abundance, more in the form of stability, definitely family, and protection, a lot of protection. So I think this is someone that feels very protective towards you, even if they're not exhibiting that, because this is in their more hidden aspects. So they might not be exhibiting this protective nature that they feel towards you, but they definitely feel like they would defend you. I'm getting like this sense of family, like they see you as family. So that could be a friend of yours, someone who you're really close with, so close that it's almost like your family. They see like creating a family with you. If there is a bit of a friendship element, that might be a little bit of a juicy detail here, because a lot of times, you know, if you're crushing on your friend, you don't really want to admit that. So this may be somebody who you have been in a friendship with that's now starting to develop some different kind of feelings, some different kind of feelings for you, and maybe not really ready to admit to that, because that's definitely in the hidden part. And with the spider, we know this is a very patient person, so they might be waiting waiting for, I don't know what, maybe waiting for you to make a move. I don't know if that's something that you're comfortable doing, or if you would prefer this person make the move. But they are patient, and maybe this is someone you didn't see as a romantic partner for a long time, and they've been waiting. So this person definitely has a lot of pride with this elk energy coming through. They are earth energy, but also if you look at this card, there's this really deep orangey red color that kind of runs through it all over the horns and in this sphere here that we can assume is the sun. So there's definitely some passion here, and that's showing up in the hidden aspects of them, the parts that they're not really wanting to share with you as easily as this part that they lead with. There's a lot of passion beneath the surface that they really might not be telling you. So how they're really feeling is like not so friendly towards you. So if this is your friend, obviously I think you're looking at them a little differently. Know that they are too. They're patiently waiting. Okay. This is somebody really strong. I feel like this isn't going to apply to everybody, but this person might be a lot larger than you. Just somebody very physically strong, and that's apparent. Like they're big. Like anybody would think that they're physically strong. That's not for everyone, but if it's not that, they are very strong-willed, because this is showing up in more of their like shadow side. So if they aren't somebody who is very physically strong and visibly physically strong, then they have a very, very strong will. Okay, let's jump into some tarot. See what else we can see. Okay, wow. That's a lot. I don't know if we will get through all of these cards, but let's see what comes out. We have the King of Swords. The Page of Wands. Justice. The Three of Hearts. And the Nine of Wands. Okay. All right. So we are kind of all over the board here in terms of energy, because we were coming through with a really strong earth energy. And now we've got some wands and some swords showing themselves. So right off the bat, I'm actually being pulled directly to this Page of Wands. And this is really like, I'm getting such a passionate and carefree type of energy that they feel with you from this. And I think that I think it's great, because I think it's refreshing for them. I think that they maybe reside in this really grounded earth energy, and you make them feel like kind of like they just want to, they're going to cut loose. They've got a new direction, a new path, something exciting, and something that they feel really passionate and drawn to. So it's like not having to always be this patient person waiting, and not always have to be this strong, stable energy, but kind of just be themselves. So I'm definitely feeling that, picking up again on these bright colors that kind of run through this elk card. So these are aspects of this person, this patience and this stability. It's definitely something that you and others around them appreciate. They're like, I get the feeling like they're really level-headed, and that's great. But you kind of bring out a different side of them, something more passionate. And I think the fact that it's backed up by this level-headed energy makes it even more special, because you know they're not going to just jump into something and just be careless about it. It's not in their nature to do that, but you kind of get them outside of themselves. Okay, now we have this King of Swords, and this is somebody who is really masterful at, I don't want to say just communication, because it's deeper than that, especially with this person with this spider energy. It's so much deeper than just the way that they communicate with you. It's more like they're a master at communicating ideas, at making you kind of like understand where they're coming from. So I am again getting, this might be somebody who's close to you in your life as a friend and not as a romantic partner, but you're both kind of looking at each other like something a little bit more, because I'm thinking there's deep conversations happening here. There's a foundation here. There's stability. There's something that you've already put into place. some kind of foundation. And if you haven't known this person for very long, this is a connection that you established quick. Like you met them and you just fell into an effortless conversation in the corner at a party. Like everybody's dancing and you two are like having some in-depth conversation. I'm getting that kind of energy, like a click, but more than on a surface level. Something deeper, and it feels like it really, like it made them feel free and like more connected than ever. Yeah, and you're really seeing this person as mature. And I mean, there's no more maturity than the elk. It's a really strong masculine energy, a very strong father energy. Even if it's not a male, this is just like a guiding light type of energy, something stable, something that a provider, like a real strong provider type energy, and somebody that you feel really safe and secure around. So I'm just getting that sort of maturity coming from this King of Wands. And with that maturity, deep communication. So if they haven't made their feelings known to you, I see that coming. And it's not going to be like some, just like a quick, I like you type of thing. It's going to be something in depth. Like I think the feelings that they have for you run really deep. Now looking here, we have Justice, Three of Swords, and Nine of Wands. I do think that there has been some kind of heartbreak in this person's past. I don't know if I want to say recent past, because the way that this energy is coming through as sort of thoughtful, stable, I don't want to say slow, but definitely on the slower end of things, that earth energy kind of speed, which is the slowest energy. This could have been in their past, even a few years back, but something that was really impactful for them, something that made them feel kind of brokenhearted and maybe like they wouldn't feel the connection again. So these cards here are giving me a glimpse into where they're coming from. And over here, I'm seeing what this connection's doing for them. And in the middle, so fitting, right in the middle, is the Justice card. Justice with her scales, balancing out what's on either side. So this connection, this relationship that is starting to blossom between you, if it hasn't already done so, is like, it's like justice for them. It's like bringing balance to this energy that they felt. This kind of, it's like a heartbreak and sort of a feeling of being trapped. So sort of being stuck in that feeling of heartbreak. And you see it's like she's in agony here. So this is somebody who just felt very walled in. And it's like they're screaming to get out of that place. And this Justice card is just here to bring balance to that situation. So that balance here is finding somebody that they can communicate with, somebody that makes them feel excited and kind of brings out that passion. So we've got the Two Wands cards here, but very different energy. And I feel like that's kind of the balance that Justice is bringing to the situation. So this is definitely something about their passion, their passionate romantic life with these wands. And on one end, we've got this feeling of renewal. This really, it's sort of just like an excitement to pursue something new, some new, just something new that's really close to their heart, and that's really, I want to say, invigorating to them. You see all this yellow energy here. It's very energizing to them, something they feel very strongly about. So it's that energy versus kind of feeling like they can't, like they couldn't move forward with their passions, if that makes any sense. So definitely some kind of heartbreak, and with you, it's like you're bringing balance to that, like you're kind of righting that wrong. You coming into their lives is making that right for them, and that's really beautiful. I want to look into your romance with this person. Get a bit of a clue about what's going on there, or what might happen, how it might unfold. Let's see. Oh, romance. Is that a clue? There's that number 8 again. So we're talking about the spider and the number 8 being significant. And then we get card 8, romance. This is definitely a romantic connection that is recognized by both of you. It's not lost on them. They see it. Even if you were friends before and weren't really looking at this as a romantic connection, they're sensing the romance. Okay, and influence. So focus. Sometimes this card can be read as maybe somebody getting in your ear, or an outside influence coming in and dictating parts of the relationship. But in this case, I'm not even getting that feeling at all. I'm going back to this King of Swords and talking about that communication, that kind of deep connection that the two of you are finding through talking and through connecting, sharing ideas. And that's really what this is. I feel like it's like music to their ears. If you look closely, there's like this sparkly kind of beautiful energy coming, from this mouth to this ear. And I think that's what it is. It's like the way that you're able to connect, the ideas that you're able to share, the deep conversations that you find yourself in with this person is like music to their ears, because this isn't a connection that they have had before. They've maybe thought that they were in love before, and it didn't end well. But with you, they're seeing they never really had that connection. They love that. There's like this feeling that they could just talk to you for hours. So it's like, I don't know, I'm just getting the feeling, it's like you are falling in love through talk, through speech, through communication. If this isn't somebody who you usually see in person, then it's like long phone calls. And even if you do see them in person, I feel like you're getting lost in these long phone calls with this person, this beautiful, artistic, and stable individual. And I don't know, I just think you're having so much fun, and this is so healing for them. If they haven't already, through all this communication that you're having, they may share with you kind of what they've been through and what was having them feel so trapped and so heartbroken. I feel like they're a very sensitive person, and that might not be something that they feel comfortable sharing with a lot of people. But through these long talks, they may be sharing that with you. I'm going to pull a little bit of advice for you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you see how that shot out momentum? So yeah, definitely, I guess we'll just kind of leave it right where it flew. This connection is going to start picking up speed and moving right along because the two of you are connecting on such a deep level that there's like no reason not to. There's no reason this person's not seeing any reason they're not seeing. They don't feel like pausing. They don't feel like stopping. They've been in this place, this Three of Hearts, Nine of Wands place for long enough, and they're like sick of it. Like they recognize that this is going to bring balance to a very undesirable situation from the past. And once this starts going, it's going. Lots of momentum. Let's see what else. Oh, God. Remember how I said this may be somebody who you are friends with? Okay, we're moving into more than friends territory now. More than friends. You guys, this is really, it's really special because I love when there's a connection that is clearly built on something more than physical attraction. The physical attraction is there. Like, there's definitely the romance. I think you see this person as a really, like you're just so drawn to them. But it's for more reasons than just physical attraction. It's something so much deeper, which really means it's something that lasts. Like usually that's a very lasting relationship. You're able to connect on so many levels. You're able to kind of come together and heal each other. So that's really beautiful. And I think the most important thing here that your person isn't telling you is that they want to be more than friends. They want to be more than friends. They want to get lost in these conversations with you, and they want to just move forward with you. So that's like the best news to hear. Okay, if this reading resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can grow our little tarot family on here. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hey Group 4, if you picked the Octopus, then this is your reading. Before I hop into the reading, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a rundown about how the reading's going to work so you know what to expect. So we're going to be digging a bit into your person's personality, and not just what they show on the surface or how you know them, but some of their attributes that are beneath the surface. So we get to be a little bit nosy and pry into some of what makes them tick, some of what you might not be aware of. So once we explore these kind of two sides of the person, we're going to be looking at the surface level and then more of like almost like the shadow side, the side that they keep more private. Once we do that, we'll jump into some tarot and see what else we can uncover about the person, because if you kind of know a little bit more about them, we're going to be able to figure out what they're not telling you, because we're going to be looking at some of those pieces of them that aren't as apparent to you. So we'll just see what else we can uncover, what other clues we can get from tarot, and then we'll jump into some love cards and kind of dig a bit into your romance. That's the part I love. Get to be a little bit nosy and see how your romance will unfold with this person, and then we'll wrap everything up with a bit of advice for you. So let's begin. You chose the Octopus. And that is because your person displays attributes similar to the octopus. So you were drawn to this card. So let's talk a little bit about how this person might appear to you on the surface level, to you and others. This is really how this person comes across. So right off, this is obviously a really intelligent person. you can tell from this card alone, the only color that's displayed on this card is right around the head of the octopus. And that's because octopuses are known to be extremely intelligent. So most likely this is someone who is very smart, probably naturally gifted in areas that are challenging to a lot of other people. So this might be somebody who's like super good at math, or really skilled in the sciences, or something that maybe you find difficult, but to them it just comes so naturally. You're really impressed by them. They're very smart, very capable of problem solving, and probably have a really good memory, which sometimes can be annoying because they'll remember everything that you said, everything that you did. If they're prone to hold grudges, it'll be a little bit difficult for them to forget what has taken place between the two of you. So with the octopus, we're dealing with water energy. Your person could be a water sign, or they could just display a lot of emotion, and that might be something that you know them for, like kind of wearing their heart on their sleeve. They're not afraid of their emotions. They don't shy away from their emotions at all. Anytime we're talking about the octopus, we have to pay attention to the fact that they have these 8 tentacles, these 8 arms. So the number 8 is significant here with this person. The number 8 actually came up as a significant number in the last reading, I believe. So you might want to check out group 3 as well. But 8 always just signifies abundance. That can be material wealth, or just an abundance in resources in any form. It can be someone who is abundant in friends, or inspiration. So this might be somebody who is a little bit artistic and would be reliant on being inspired to do whatever it is they do, and they seem to never run out of inspiration. They are a very abundant person. You probably see them that way. They might be a person who seems like they kind of have it all, or like their career and finances are really in order. Yeah, with the number 8, that's what we're looking for. We think infinity, like the number 8 turned on its side is that symbol for infinity. So they are a person who just comes up with an infinite amount of ideas, of inspiration. It might seem like they have infinite time. We all get the same 24 hours in the day, but they might seem like they have a bit more, like they're able to get more done, something like that. So far, this is somebody who I think you're pretty impressed with, it seems. They're really smart, and they seem to kind of always have what they need. Also with the octopus, we are dealing with like a sea creature here. So you notice on this card, there's a lot of darkness surrounding the octopus, and that's because, you know, it's dark under the water. It's dark there, and not only are we dealing in the darkness from just being underwater, but we're also dealing with like a really mysterious and like bizarre creature. Like this is a creature that's very different from us, almost like an alien. Like they are so they're so different from the way that we appear, the way we move through the world as humans, that they could almost be considered like an alien type creature. So this is something to keep in mind with this person. They're probably somebody who does things in a bit of an unconventional way. They probably surprise you a lot, just being unexpected, making unexpected choices, or moving through the world in a way that is different than what you would imagine. And I get the idea that that's probably something that kind of thrills you. It's probably kind of exciting to be around somebody who will make you look at the world in a different way. Again, I really do think that we are dealing with a super emotional person. Kind of an interesting fact about octopuses is that they have 3 hearts. So we're definitely, not only are we here in this water element, but we're dealing with a creature that has 3 hearts. So there's definitely strong emotions here. It might be that you pick up on the emotional connection that the two of you have, that you know that they feel emotional about you. But this is definitely someone capable of feeling deep emotion, and it might even be something that you're sensing from them. So that's what's going on the surface with this person. And now we're going to flip this card over and see what parts of them they are not sharing with you. Okay, we have the rabbit. So the rabbit is earth energy. Okay, so we have water and earth here. They're leading with more emotion. And on the inside, they're probably quite grounded. That's nice. Not too much water energy, not too much emotion. That's always nice. They'll be a stable person. The one thing I want to point out with the rabbit is you can even tell from the card these sort of intense reds that show up behind the rabbit. The rabbit is a really fearful creature. They kind of have to be, because a lot of other animals prey on them. So that's something to keep in mind, is that although this person may on the surface move through the world in an unconventional way, and they might come across as somebody who's fearless, who's going to just do things their own way, and they don't care what other people say. On the inside, they've got a little bit of fear. And I don't think this holds them back, because to you, they're appearing as somebody who's going to just go for it, even if it means thinking outside the box and moving in a way that's unconventional. On the inside, though, before they make any of those moves, they're a little bit scared. They're a little timid. So in terms of how they might approach you, they might be a little bit more afraid to approach you or to explore a romantic connection with you than you would think, based on how they move through the world as this kind of fearless and trailblazing character. That might not be how they feel inside. They might have a bit more fear. Also, this person is probably a really good listener. So if this is someone you're having deep conversations with, this would be somebody that you notice that they're listening to you. They're probably going to recall things that you brought up in conversation, and that makes you feel really special to know that somebody's actually listening to what you're saying. That might have been a complaint in past relationships, and it's really nice to know that they actually hear you. Also with the rabbit, I get a sense of family, a sense of lots of children. So if this is someone you had family plans in mind with, wanted to start a family, this would be your ideal person. Even if they live a life where they seem a little bit unconventional, and maybe like they, on the surface, you wouldn't expect them to be family oriented, I think there's someone who really is, because on the inside, they're coming across as this rabbit who is very family oriented. Let's see. Before we dive into tarot, let's see what else might come up. I do kind of get the feeling that this might be somebody who is a bit mysterious to you. I can see how both of these animals could create a little bit of mystery and intrigue. Obviously, the octopus is mysterious, underwater creature that kind of, as we talked about, just moves through the world differently than most of what we're used to. And the rabbit, with its kind of underground burrows, they can be a little bit tricky to figure out. They will run away at the first sight of a threat, and they might go underground. So there's really this element coming through of mystery, that this might be somebody who you find a bit mysterious. And that can be fun, but it could also leave you questioning a lot of things. Maybe you're not exactly sure how they feel about you, and it's just all a mystery to you. Let's jump into some tarot and see what else we can learn. I do think that this is someone you'll be able to go deep with. That was a whole bunch of cards. Let's not do that. Getting a sense of depth with the the burrowing rabbit and the underwater octopus. This person has a lot of depth. And not only do they have a lot of depth just on their own, but it's somebody that you're going to be able to go kind of deep with, maybe have some deep conversations with. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the King of Swords. Let's get a few more cards. Had these cards come out, a couple of these cards came out in previous readings, so I do think it would be worth checking out some of the other readings. I can't remember which ones these were showing up in, but there might be a connection here. There might be something you can gain from some of the other readings with some of these similarities coming out. I know the Ace of Pentacles came out and the King of Swords came out in another reading. This is definitely somebody who's maybe exploring a new opportunity financially. Okay, we had a kind of a lot come out. However, I want to take them because I like them, and I think you'll like them as well. Automatically, I'm being drawn to these rich reds that are running through with the rabbit and the lovers. So this is a bit of what I was talking about before. I do think this is somebody who wants a family with you, and that might not be something that they've expressed to you. I don't know what stage in your relationship you are. If you're very early on, I can't imagine that they would. That would be a little bit awkward to jump straight into conversations about family planning, but this is definitely someone who sees you as a lover and wants to make babies with you, to put it simply. So that's something that they are not coming right out and telling you. The good news is I've got this King of Swords showing up here, so I do think this is somebody who will tell you these things, who will be pretty open about how they feel and how they want to move forward with you. I don't think that's something they're going to keep to themselves. They seem like someone who's pretty open in terms of communication, even if it is unconventional. So when looking at these cards, I wouldn't think that this is somebody who hasn't had their fair share of struggle. And that's probably really significant in your connection. You are most likely a kind of a bright spot for them, because I'm seeing some kind of loneliness and some struggle, especially here in this Ten of Swords. This is somebody who's been through a bit of a dark time. I don't get the idea they're letting it weigh them down now, but they have been through a bit of a dark time. So when you're having these conversations with them and learning a little bit more about them, it would be interesting to see if that's something that they feel comfortable sharing, because they've definitely gone through something. If I look at how this is laying out, it seems like there was something that they wanted to manifest and bring to fruition with this Ace of Pentacles. And then kind of the way that it ended up is this Ten of Swords energy. Like, it didn't pan out the way that they would have wanted, and left them feeling really alone and potentially even betrayed. And I think that this is this disappointment and this event in their lives really could have led to kind of this emotional mastery. So this isn't someone who let the struggles that they've been through define them. which I guess makes sense. When we're talking about this octopus being kind of an unconventional character, this isn't somebody who is going to allow anything to define them. They're going to define themselves. They're going to kind of make their own rules and write their own story. And I get the feeling that's what this person has done. Yeah, they've been through disappointments, but what they allowed that to do was change them into somebody who had really mastered their emotions, who knows how to share their emotions, who knows how to communicate and be really open in that way instead of letting it shut them down. And that was definitely an option for them. They could have allowed that to shut them down and to break them. And that's not what they did. So I feel like in relationship with this person, you're going to benefit from that. There probably was a time of kind of rest and renewal after this disappointment. A little bit of contemplating, and I don't know. I just get the feeling that that contemplation is what led this person to become this King of Swords. Like, yes, they had to kind of go within. They had to take a break. They had to regroup. But what they did was emerge as somebody who's a master of their emotions. And sure, there's probably still a little fear there with this rabbit here, but I feel like this is somebody who is going to face that fear and kind of do it anyway. I think that might be what they do. That's why you see them as the octopus. You see them as this unconventional, kind of maybe a little bit crazy, a little bit wild. You see them as a little fearless, and that's not really the case. They can come across as being really fearless, but they're not actually fearless. They just kind of feel the fear and do it anyway. So the last two cards that came up here are kind of the best cards that you could possibly get in terms of a romantic connection. We have the Lovers and the Two of Cups. So this person definitely sees you as a partner, as an equal partner, as someone that they respect, as somebody that they want to give to and that they want to grow with. The Two of Cups energy is always really reciprocal to me, so I really like that. It's a balanced relationship. It's one where there's give and take, and there's a lot of love coming from both sides. So I think you're in luck here, dealing with a really emotionally mature person who's ready to give themselves over to a romantic connection. Like, they've been through the challenge. They've contemplated it. They've maybe taken a break, you know. With this Four of Swords, this could be somebody who maybe they didn't date for a while because they just didn't want to go down that road again. So they kind of took a little bit of a break. But then, like, here you are, and it's the Lovers, Two of Cups energy. So I think that break for them is over. And they're ready to explore something with you, which is beautiful. I would say don't discount the fact that they might still be a little bit afraid to do that, but they are ready to do it, and they're going to do it anyway. Like the octopus is just going to do it anyway, even though it might freak them out a bit. So let me grab some romance cards. We'll see what else. Getting us like a really tender energy here. I think this is somebody you really care about, and they care about you too. Sometimes things come through as there's kind of a lot of like hot and heavy passion, which definitely that's here. But there's like some deep emotions running through as well. Okay, and then passion comes out. So yes, there's definitely passion here. We see that with the Lovers, this is a very passionate couple. Both of these cards in an embrace. That's so cute. I don't know, I'm seeing you guys like hugging, just hugging all the time, holding each other all the time, like you can't get enough of each other. You'd always want to be touching this person. So I think that's how your relationship is going to go. And that's probably a bit of what they're not telling you, is like they want to hug you, they want to touch you, they want to hold you all the time, and they're kind of holding back on that. That is so sweet. Let me put that there with the Lovers. Let's see what else. Okay, and effort. Get that to focus. Okay, so this definitely, we talked about, I'm reading this a couple of different ways. We talked about the effort that this person put in order to grow themselves into somebody who was ready to step into this Lovers and Two of Cups energy. So that's definitely present here. They put in a lot of work. You might not know that about them. That might be something that they did in private, but they definitely put in a lot of work to become somebody who's ready to be in this relationship with you. And not only did they do that, but they're going to put in the effort in this relationship. They're not going to be somebody where you're wondering, like, do you even want to be with me? Like, we're not doing anything. You don't take me out. You don't pay attention to me. It's not going to be like that. They're going to be somebody who's very affectionate, who's very about emotion and about letting you know exactly how they feel. So if that's been a problem for you in the past, just feeling like you're in the relationship by yourself, that's not something you're going to be feeling in this relationship. You're definitely going to know that this person is in this with you 100%. So that'll put your mind at ease. Let's get a little bit of advice for you. You can just kind of figure out how you should move forward. Dare to dream. Okay. That really gives me the feeling that this is somebody that you've had your eye on for a long time, and you might have felt like they're a bit out of reach. Like they're this mysterious octopus that is just so unconventional, and you might have even worried that they're out of your league, that you wouldn't be the person that would catch their eye. But Dare to Dream is telling me that's not the case at all. Go ahead and dream it. Go ahead and manifest that, fantasize about that, because this is actually something that can happen, and they actually do feel they feel this passion for you. Let's see what other little nuggets of advice we can get. Any more advice for group 4? Kind of just dropping cards here. Let's get... Oh, okay. Okay, we got Drop the Mask and Waiting. So yeah, this is somebody that you have been kind of waiting on to make that move. Don't think that you're going to be waiting for much longer. Drop the mask. This might be a little bit of like, just let yourself, let your true self shine through here, because that could be a little bit of a stumbling block. You're looking at this person who seems maybe a little bit out of reach, mysterious, and you can't figure out what's going on. But at the same time, I think the best advice is just to absolutely be yourself, because you being you is what made this person attracted to you in the first place. You might not have known that they were feeling that attraction. You might not even believe that they do, but they do. And if you're not being authentic to yourself, then you're not going to be drawing them in the same way that you were before. So that's actually some great advice, just to know they actually like you for exactly who you are. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to be as wild as they are. You don't have to be as daring as they are. You don't have to be as adventurous as they are. You might see yourself as somebody who's a little bit more timid. Just know that they have a little bit of that timid nature running through them as well. So that's not something they're going to look down on or shy away from. Some of this outward, like adventurous spirit might be a little bit of a mask for them. It might be a little bit of a mask that they need to drop, because inside we have kind of this timid, trembling rabbit here that will run away at the first sight of trouble or of fear. So it might be a matter of both of you needing to drop a mask, or them needing to drop this octopus mask and let you know that they're a little bit afraid. So I don't know, I'm getting the sense that it's like you thought that potentially you were the one who might not be accepted, that might not be wanted, and I think that they're feeling a little bit of that too, if not a lot of that. So they might be worried that you aren't going to accept them for who they are, especially somebody who kind of puts on this octopus front. They might be thinking that nobody would be interested to know that they're a little bit more timid, and they're a little bit more emotional and sensitive. That's the word I'm looking for, because that really describes both this octopus and this rabbit energy. They might be a little bit more sensitive than most people would guess. And this is probably going to be something that's uncovered as you spend more time together. You might be kind of waiting for them to drop the mask. They're probably waiting for you to drop the mask. So the best advice here is to be yourself. It was you that caught their eye in the first place. It was you that brought out this Lovers and Two of Cups energy. And that's what they're attracted to. Like, you already did it. Like, you were already somebody who they wanted to put in the work with, who they wanted to explore a passion with, a passionate relationship. So there's really nothing else that you have to do but be that same person that attracted them in the first place. Okay, I think that's all I have for you, Group 4. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, letting me do this reading for you. If any part of this reading resonated, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that we can all become one big happy family. I want you to take care, and hopefully you'll join me again for another video. Bye!